One of my favorite aspects about film is that through visual effects wizardry, we can be transported to places previously only dreamed about. Whether it's Oz, Middle-earth, or a certain galaxy far, far away, our favorite films make us believe in the worlds we are seeing. Today I want to take a look at how Charlie Kaufman and Michel Gondry transport us into the world of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Now, the world is not some faraway planet or mystical universe, but instead the mind of its protagonist, Joel Barish. Throughout the film, Joel undergoes a procedure which erases the memories of his ex-girlfriend Clementine after a harsh breakup. Through this, Joel finds himself reliving these memories as they are being removed from his brain. So how does Michel Gondry film these abstract concepts and take us into the world of Joel's mind? Spoilers ahead. Now, the world of Joel's mind is more than just memories. It also contains his thoughts and his perception of the outside world. Let's take a look at this scene early on in the film where Joel learns that Clementine has erased him from her memory. The scene starts out with Joel explaining his encounter with Clementine, where she doesn't remember who he is, to two of his friends. As he's telling the story, we suddenly cut to the memory he is telling.
Let me know if you need something, sir. Hey. How are you?
After Joel has relived this painful moment, he starts to walk away from it. And as the lights turn off behind him, Joel walks through a doorway back to the house where he was telling the story. Now, not only is this a phenomenal scene transition, but it visually shows Joel going from the mental space to the physical space, something the film does quite frequently later on. While our A storyline concerns us with Joel and his memories, there's also our B storyline, following the employees of the Lucuna Corporation hired to erase Joel's memories. Now, a lot of the events that occur in this B storyline, like the employee Patrick seducing and brainwiped Clementine, become apparent to Joel while he's subconscious and influence his decisions while he's in his memories. The key to selling the memories and really putting us in Joel's headspace is in how the film bridges the memories with reality. The best example of this is this scene early on in the procedure, where Joel relives the memory of his breakup with Clementine.
You're trying to figure out, did she fuck someone tonight?
No, see, Clem, I assume you fucked someone tonight. Isn't that how you get people to like you?
So up until this point, the scene played out in a relatively straightforward manner. But after this moment, things start to get pretty trippy.
Clem, I didn't mean it, all right?
Throughout the scene, we see the memory jumping through time, with Clementine appearing and disappearing in impossible manners. Now, as a visual way to show Joel's memory being erased, this is pretty inventive, but the film takes it a step further by justifying the visuals. While the scene is taking place, we cut away to the B storyline with the two employees.
It's a little weird. My girlfriend situation.
I'm sure it is.
Once we cut back to our A storyline, the film ties these two together, with Joel being able to hear the conversation happening in the real world.
Is there something wrong with a girl being attracted to me? Is that a problem?
No, I think it's funny.
The scene then ties these two together with this moment.
That girl? Yeah, that's this guy's girl. Friend.
Yeah.
Was. Take care of that.
This effort into explaining these visual motifs is the key into not only believing this world, but also keeping us engaged in the story. There's also a structure towards implementing this visual motif. We start by introducing the visual, we're then given the context for the visual, and then we revisit the visual with the context in mind. If you break down every visual motif used in this film, whether it's the frame being surrounded by darkness or the blurring of people's faces, they're all introduced in the same pattern. We're shown an example, we're given the context, and then we repeat the motif for dramatic effect. What the film is doing with these scenes is establishing the visual vocabulary, teaching you the rules and language while also keeping you engaged in propelling the story forward. Once these rules are established, it gives the filmmakers narrative room to play with these rules, bend these rules, and even break them.
Got it.
However, getting back to the first example I showed, the key to keeping the audience immersed is the transitions, both from memory to memory and also between storylines. The most common transition used here is the match cut. The match cut works really well because just like Joel, we as the audience are being thrown from memory to memory, having to catch up with the environment. However, just like every other visual motif, the filmmakers take this idea of catching up with your environment and go nuts with it. For example, the environment can change to reveal a separate memory, or the object surrounding Joel can stay while the set changes. Oftentimes, the objects Joel is interacting with will stay between scene transitions and then leave when he's not looking. This idea of being thrust into a new environment while still being engaged with the previous one leads to some pretty hilarious moments. When these techniques are in full effect, Joel's memories, the multiple storylines, they all start to blur together. We're always caught up in the moment, but never in control of the narrative and where it's going. At a certain point, these memories stop feeling like reality and start to feel like something else.
By the time you wake up in the morning, all the memories we targeted would have withered and disappeared. as in a dream upon waking.
Dreams are the perfect analogy here. They're strong and emotional, yet they're fragile, and they can disappear without us noticing. I want to take a look at one last scene. It's the final memory of the procedure, as well as the night that Joel and Clementine met. Now, this moment between Joel and Clementine where they finally say goodbye to each other is very poignant, with the memory crumbling around them as it's disappearing. However, Clementine gives him something to hold on to when she's gone. After this, we immediately jump to Joel driving away from the party where they met, and the film uses this opportunity to give us a montage encapsulating the entire film. Here we see a true blending of all the elements, with every shot seamlessly transitioning to the other. We're given a bombardment of information, with Joel literally driving away from his memories, as well as quick flashes of the relationship he's so desperate to hold on to. We're given a rush of emotion, yet nothing concrete, and while the images that are flashed before us will fade away, the emotion that they evoke will stay with us when they're gone.